Hey, what's up guys? Little man with a big opinion here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my newest prepping purchase and probably what most of the preppers like to talk about anyway. I went out and got a SIG P365 X macro. We're empty. I'm gonna go over the reasons why I chose this firearm and then the other things that need to go along with it. When I started 2024, I went through the process of getting my LTC for the state of Texas. I did the shooting this morning, fingerprints, all that, and now we're waiting. The guy at the shop said they're taking between 2 and 3 weeks before they'll issue, or it's taking about a week to, put you in through the system, and then about 2 weeks to have it shipped out. I went with this firearm because I have small hands. I'm not a very big person, and even with some of the Glocks, I I couldn't feel comfortable holding it. The single stack Glocks I could just fine. A lot of this advice came from my brother who's got the XL. I do like that it is optic ready and that it has the Picatinny rail. That way you can put laser light, whatever you want on there. The other very, very nice thing about it is the fact that it holds 17 rounds. I just have the 2 magazines that came with it. After we did the shooting portion, I stuck around and shot another 2 or 3 magazines worth. So I've got 1 magazine loaded with my just standard FMJ, and then the one that stays in the gun, I went with just the SIG Elite Defender V Crown. So this is a extra piece of equipment to have on hand. I talked about the extras. The 4 main other things that stay on me 24/7, and basically the few places that I can't take the firearm, I typically don't have any issue carrying a lighter, a flashlight, some sort of pin, and a pocket knife. So you throw all those together. I'm looking for a very slim, nonchalant way to carry a tourniquet, and that'll go into this everyday carry. So you can think about this as an everyday carry video, a prepping video, a Minuteman video. I'm kind of throwing all the information into one. The other things that I purchased when I got the firearm, I just got some standard 115 grain target rounds, and I did pick up 2 boxes of these. I only brought the one that I've got the 2 rounds left in it because this is 17 plus 1. The other thing that I think is super important on top of this, I don't have my holster. I have a very, very cheap over the waistband holster because you can open carry in Texas, and I wanted to carry it around with me. But find a Kydex holster that you like. I would recommend going into a gun store. I took mine into my local gun store. I still had it in like the SIG case that they had, and I just asked, can I try on holsters? And you treat it just like trying on clothes. Some people prefer the appendix carry, some people prefer doing it on the waistband. I think this one's a little bit big to do as like a boot gun. For the ladies out there, my wife is looking at buying a pair of leggings that have a spot specifically to carry the firearm in. So before you just buy something online, definitely, feel around. A lot of them do have return policies, but the holster that I ended up buying online after going through a few options, uh, it takes 3 to 5 days to ship it back to them, and then you're gonna wait your 3 to 5 days, if not a week, before you get something else in. And the only reason I didn't buy from my local gun store is I wanted one of the like Second Amendment stamped ones, and they only carried black and gray and brown and stuff. So that's the only reason I picked a different option. The other point of this, or the other part of this that is extremely important, is the maintenance aspect of it. So I just picked up one of the little $10 kits. I didn't have anything that shot. This one's 9mm, 357, 38 special. I didn't have anything that fell into that category. So, I picked this one up. It doesn't bother me if you have a big, maybe $100 kit that's got all the different calibers, or if you pick them up like this, or if you just buy a snake bore. But grab something like this, and then pick your gun cleaner of choice. I like CLP. I've used it's like Rim Oil 8 before. I think all of them basically do the same thing. And, go with what you like. These are going to be between $3 upwards of, 10 to 20. But, maintaining your firearm is super important. Getting to know your firearm is super important. My brother gave me the 3-second rundown on taking it apart, and it's still a very brand new gun. So being able to field strip and clean your entire firearm is also super important. So it was going to be a tax return purchase, and we were going to talk about how to spend your tax return towards prepping, but I was able to sell a different gun that I have. A buddy of mine is really looking into getting the old Western style guns. And I had one that I haven't really shot much, and I talked to him about it, and we went ahead and did our transfer, and he was happy, and I was able to use the funds from that to purchase this. So we still will have some tax return purchase videos when talking about prepping. The only other thing that I didn't grab is I picked up a handful of the cardboard targets and paper targets. I picked up another AR-500 steel target. That way, we can slowly set up some more permanent shooting ranges out at the bug out location. But once you get the firearm, I'd say the only downside to this tool is the extra magazines are $54 a piece. So they're pretty up there. But here in the near future, we're going to be looking at getting it at least 2 more so that we can have 4. And then the nice thing is, the wife's handgun is already 9mm. So she's told me, the ammo that you've got and that I've got with my gun is my ammo. But if it came down to a pinch, they all kind of go into the same category. So I would recommend at least 500 rounds for your handgun, your sidearm, your secondary, whatever you want to call it. And I already have, having a small child, sometimes training is very limited. So I already have the March dates planned out. Uh, it'll be nice because my brother will be able to come up and we'll be able to combine the targets that we have and set up something pretty nice. And him having a very, very similar firearm to this, we'll be able to get a good amount of training in. You know, you can't just get the cool stuff, you also have to spend time on the range. So, you know, I did the shooting this morning for the LTC and I stuck around. If you have the available time, I would say once every other week and go through, you know, a handful of drills that, you know, there's tons of videos out there. I don't have any shooting range videos. I'm not going to say I'm an expert at it or anything, but running through, you know, making sure, you know, you can hit a target at the 3, 7, 15 yard range. You know, going through multiple different targets and being able to accurately put 2 to 5 rounds into each target. You know, once, and then after that, it's about time. All the military guys will say slow is smooth and smooth is fast. It's not something that you're just going to become an expert in overnight. I actually shot a little bit worse than I thought I would doing that shooting course this morning, but I also didn't read their fine print. You use it's like I think it's the Glock 42. I don't know, it's the 22 version of the Glock. And, you know, we went in, he explained the process and lined us up and we went through the shooting. So, you know, I didn't even get practice rounds with that firearm. But with your own firearms, you can have all of the practice that your budget and time will allow. So don't just, you know, get the cool stuff, spend time using the cool stuff. Especially if you plan on doing any type of, you know, carrying out in public or, you know, anything like that. That being said, I'm going to go get this stuff put up. I'm probably going to, you know, clean it again because it's new, and I think that's what everyone does, is they constantly clean their stuff, but I haven't cleaned it since coming back from the range, so that's the first thing I'm going to do is run through that. But for, you know, getting a handgun, get something that you feel comfortable with, and, you know, do a little bit of research. You know, I could have got the comp version of this, and it was about $150 more, but from everything I understood from it, it wasn't going to meet the requirements that I wanted it to meet. And, you know, for that price, it was kind of out there, but maybe in the future. With that, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. If you like what we're doing with the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see a video of, you know, me going through some shooting drills with this, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell because one will be coming out hopefully in the next week or two. With that, catch you in the next one.